Some mornings before the world stirs, I watch the first pale light slip across my windowsill and think to myself, this is enough. The kettle hums quietly on the stove, steam rising in slow ribbons, and outside a gentle rain taps its steady rhythm against the glass. I sit at the kitchen table, both hands wrapped around a mug, feeling its warmth seep into my palms. There is a certain hush that comes with these early hours, a feeling as if the world is pausing just long enough for me to notice. For many years, mornings didn't feel like this. They were a blur of alarms and lists, of checking my phone before my feet touched the ground. I remember the constant undercurrent of tension, like a taut string humming beneath everything I did. Burnout crept in quietly, disguised as ambition and diligence. I felt the urge to fill the silence, with podcasts, with news, with endless scrolling. If you've ever felt this way, you might recognize the ache I'm describing, a sense that you're always running, never quite arriving. What would it feel like to set that burden down, just for a moment? It took me a long time to realize that the pace I was keeping wasn't sustainable. I thought I was building a life, but really, I was building a cage. Small setbacks felt enormous, and I was quick to frustration and slow to joy. In that quiet, I noticed something I hadn't felt in a long time, a sense of relief as if I'd finally put down a heavy bag I didn't realize I was carrying. I realized I'd been holding my breath all day, and as I exhaled, it was as if I were making space for something new. What if I let myself slow down, not just as an occasional treat, but as a way of life? Each act of slowness felt like a quiet protest against the culture of urgency I'd internalized. When I allowed myself to move more slowly, I discovered a kind of clarity I'd been missing. It was as if the sediment of anxiety and overthinking settled to the bottom, leaving the surface of my mind clearer, calmer. I began to understand that gratitude is not just a feeling, but a practice, a way of anchoring myself in the present. I would sit quietly with my coffee, feeling the warmth, watching the steam curl and dissipate. I learned to set boundaries with my devices, creating what I called a digital sunset. This gentle unwinding made sleep come more easily, and I woke feeling less scattered, more whole. Are you starting to imagine what your days might feel like, with a little more spaciousness, a little more kindness? Gratitude is not something that arrives fully formed. It's something we cultivate, moment by moment. It's about trusting that you don't have to rush to keep up, that you can move at your own pace and still arrive where you need to be. I close my eyes and picture it, the wide river, the solid ground beneath my feet, the sky stretching endlessly overhead. Each time I return, it feels a little easier, a little more natural. I find comfort in the knowledge that I, too, am allowed to change, to grow, to rest and begin again. It begins with a single breath, a single moment of noticing. Over time, it becomes a way of living, a way of being present to your own life, of finding gratitude in the ordinary.